Marvel, let's eke all of their rating. And then Marvel said something like, "You don't understand. Abby is pretty good."
I mean, Fairy is also pretty flipping good.
No, they're both good for sure. But yeah, Chewie and Marvel were underrated. So put in all skill aside, even if their skill was equal, Chewie and Marvel could have expected to gain some rating.
Yeah. Also, from what I remember, like Abby has done pretty well against Marvel relative to other, like relative to how well Marvel does against like other top players. Um, so like I think that this matchup is also helping them out a little bit because if they had a position where Abby was
Oh,
playing on top
so.
board against Marvel. Oh wait, the match has started. We should probably talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
these.
yeah. I am. I'm looking at the match right now. It looks like Darvacki is over 2,000. CheckForChess is around 1,900. Um, ShaoniHiya is the lowest rated of the four at 1,302, which bodes poorly for his team. But then again, we've seen some teams with like a low-rated partner that they just go on a tear. So sometimes ratings can be deceptive.
Unfortunately, I've got bad news for Shaonai. Unfortunately, I do not believe, and if I don't believe, I'm afraid you have no chance.
Okay.
I'm thirsty, begging for any reason to believe, but I can't find it. I'm sorry.
So in this case, by the way, for Darvacki, either queen mates or knight plus pawn mates. Or no, maybe not knight plus pawn. I guess he can move to c8. But yeah, just trades in general are good for Darvacki.
Rookmate. Yeah, rook.
Two
Well, rook
rooks
plus
mate. I
knight.
don't know about one rook. Yeah, rook plus knight
Rook
mate.
plus. Oh, wonder if there's a way to make it mate with only rook. I'm not seeing it.
I'm not seeing it either. Although actually, pawn check, rook takes, rook check, knight takes rook. Interesting. Maybe that doesn't lead to anything. I don't know. This is just pretty interesting position. He is throwing in the pawn check.
Um, I don't know how I feel about this. I assume his idea is
Yeah,
to take on c7. Oh, he's just gonna castle, but then why did you need to play pawn c7? I guess
not
he was worried
sure.
about some knight h3 on the other. I mean, king f2 is
Not
forced
sure,
here.
but
Don't.
this game is closer than we would have thought. Okay, that's a queen trade, which if he actually takes back the queen, I think it benefits Darvacki on the right board.
Oh, Shauna and Schachmasteo are not in voice chat? Okay, yeah, no, I see. Wait, none of these teams are in voice. What are you doing with your lives? What?
Yeah, you guys should 100% be in voice chat. Kanani wants a knight. Why does he want a knight?
Wait
Oh,
a second.
what? Okay, Darvacki does not look in a good way over here.
Oh no, I think you have to go f1 first. Yeah, this is
Knight
mate
knight
still.
f2. That's mate. Okay, the
Yeah, I
underdog
think you
team
go
has
f1.
drawn first blood. Our score is now
So
1-0.
I need them to draw it. Oh yeah, go
Favoring
ahead.
Shanani and Schachmasteo.
I'm telling you right now,
Masteo.
the match can be 10-0 for Sheoni and Schachmasteo, and I'm still not going to believe. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, one thing I will say is I've seen CheckForChess in the random pool a lot. I haven't seen these other guys nearly as much, but I feel like I'm not even looking at their profiles, but just from memory, I think CheckForChess probably has played a lot of Bughouse games.
Yeah, I think one thing from what I remember about Check for Chess's game is he's a lot more comfortable when he's attacking than when he is feeding, which I guess is like the sack sitter, like true of all sack sitters. But like in a position like that, like before his partner got into trouble, like on the king side, like there were a lot of like combinations of pieces that could have made for him. Like we're looking at rook plus knight, we're looking at like two knights and the things that he could do, and then like Jack for chess was kind of like playing for his own board the entire time, which
Oh, a
caused Darvacki to
rook mates
just
for Darvacki. I'm not sure if he knows a rook mates for him, but this mother mate worked because of the other knight in there. Okay. Oh, that's actually a great move. Okay, he's picked up the queen.
ooh, just queen d7 here.
Yeah, queen d7 seems fine. Or go for the
I don't.
attack. He could even take the bishop and sack the queen. He's up enough time. Ooh, that I
Why?
don't know about. He could still take the
I
bishop here. Or is there another good check? No, he can just take the bishop. Giving up the queen. If he gets material, then this will work out well. If he doesn't get material, then it was not a good sack.
Yeah, I feel like it could just go queen d7, and it's not like Schachmasteo could fix his position in one
Right.
move. Like he
That's
has all the
true.
same problems.
That's
Because
true.
this isn't even just about the material. Like your king's way less safer now without your queen there. So like
Yeah.
counterattacks are real. Yeah, I like king e1 first, make him commit to knight f3, and then you go to f2.
Or you could wait for like a pawn for d2. Not so sure about this one. Okay, knight out. Now he can potentially get the rook involved with rook takes pawn. Um, I like knight at e3 here.
ShaoniHiya is mated.
Yeah, there's that as well.
So friendly reminder, all you 2000 players, do not be afraid to use your queen defensively. It is the best defender that you could ask for.
Absolutely. Darvacki could come in on the light squares if there was ever any material trades. Oh, I think he should have gone after this knight with the bishop instead of just retreating it to a useless square
Gee,
where a knight can
did
win it for
Darvacki
free.
just play f3? What's happening?
In this
Yo,
case, his bishop guards f2, so it's not the end of the world. Finally, he's going for this knight.
they could have sat for pawn at g2. That queen was not on e2. Sweet mercy. That was a decision.
Darvacki
Um,
has a very interesting structure here, but it's kind of working out for him. Take the bishop. That's a free bishop. Queen takes bishop. Hits the knight, or sorry, hits the rook. I like Darvacki's position here.
I like Darvacki's position, but that has little to do with the decisions that Darvacki has made. Like Darvacki did all that he could to make me not like his position.
I don't have a problem. There was like one. There was a few moves where like knight at g2 could have picked up a bishop for free, but in the absence of that bishop coming, which it wasn't, because check for chess was up time. It's just, ooh, now I don't like that decision. All right. He's changing my mind a little bit after hanging a rook for nothing.
Well, actually, no. This is fine because queen mates for his partner and is forced. All right, Shauna, how do you want to die? This is going to tell me a lot about who you are as a person.
Quickly or slowly? Is that
Yeah, the problem with this one is that like your opponent can always safely pre-move.
well? I mean, they could go for. Okay, never mind. I was gonna arrow some ways in which the queen could mate on the other board, and he could go for a double mate, but no such luck.
Yeah, I guess
It
you go
looks
king
like
h1 and then
Darvacki
you.
is just trading everything, and let in check for chess, do some attacking.
Yeah, I mean, so when you outclass your opponents like this, like sack sitting on the bottom board is fine. Like it depends on the player. Actually, with these players, like because check for chess is so comfortable attacking, I like this decision. A lot of times, I actually think when you like outclass your opponents, you don't have to go for risky attacks. Like you can just play a long game and just get a better position than them more often than not. But for this particular match, I like the idea of
Check for chess, I think should have put a diagonal on f6 there.
yeah, because this allowed ShaoniHiya to defend with like pushing his pawn to f6 or yeah, like trying to create space. This is disgusting. Yeah, rook
It's
h8.
just yeah, the rook h8 works. This knight move also works. A lot of ways to win.
Yeah, knight h6 is better, like more aesthetically. I guess the best option here was queen at h8, sacking the queen to flex.
And that's another win for the higher rated team there. Our score is now 3-1, favoring Check for Chess and Darvacki.
All right, check. I've got an important question for you. Over under 0.5 wins for the rest of this match for ShaoniHiya and Schachmasteo.
Whether they'll take a win off of...
Yeah.
Or whether they'll take a draw, you're saying?
Well, no, like, do you think they will win more or less than 0.5 games for the rest of this match? And if they win exactly 0.5 more games for the rest of this match, it's a wash.
If you'd asked me at the beginning of the match, I would have taken the under. After seeing that first win, I'm gonna take the over. I think they'll cheese a victory one of these matches, or one of these games.
Yeah, I don't think I see it. I think we're going to have 8 straight wins here from Darvacki and Check for Chess, but I would love to be wrong. Honestly, being outrated by like 600 points and even cheesing that first game is pretty legendary.
It was legendary. And this will not be the game, though.
All right, check. Tell me right now. Are you taking this pawn on d6? If that was your board, are you taking the pawn on d6? I need to know.
I'm going to say that I would never put myself in that position to begin with. But
I'm aware.
That being said, yeah, that looked like a free pawn.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. All right. Man, I used to think that I was a greedy whore, but no, I just did not know.
This knight has to be taken now. Oh, that does not work.
If my partner took that pawn on d6, I would instantly have them drug tested. Like,
our score right now is 4-1, favoring Check for Chess and Darvacki. Darvacki communicating says no knight. I don't think a knight is all that bad, so I don't know why he even said that. Maybe he's saying that to discourage his partner from sacking his knight.
No, I think he was scared of knight takes f7 and then knight at g5, which was
I understand he may have been scared by that, but it was not an actual threat. He was totally fine. So honestly, like if I were in Darvecki's position, that's the type of thing I might say to my sack-sitting partner to get them to not sack.
I love passive aggression in Bughouse.
Oh, whoa, that's a crushing move by Darvacki. Made him one.
Yeah, really nice find, queen at g1.
Yeah, the only thing that would have saved him was queen to interpose, looked like. Oh, maybe a king. Did he have king up? Maybe a king up.
No,
certainly interposing did not work.
I think that there was a bishop on d3, so if he went king e2, he had nowhere to run to.
Darvacki grabbing that rook file. I don't know after grabbing the rook file why he didn't just take the free pawn. But he's not a greedy guy like we are.
No. He's not a greedy guy like I am. No one on the face of this planet is a greedy guy like you are. Jeez. Like, Chuck, I'm actually concerned about whether or not I should seek psychiatric help for you. Like,
Check for chess is getting a pretty good attack here. Oh,
oh,
bishop at
bishop at
f7
f7.
looks pretty good for Schachmasteo.
So after king f8, do we go bishop takes g6? Wait, why on earth would we go bishop takes g6? Yeah, knight takes g6 was crushing if king f8, so you had to go king e7. I mean, Darvacki's getting out of
That's
this
mate for
actually.
check for chess. So this game is over. Darvacki doesn't need to move anymore. Although, if he wanted to move, that looks like a free roll.
Oh my god. Chuck.
Our score is now 6-1, favoring check for chess and Darvacki.
Why does the check for chess keep playing e3 with his bishop on c1 with the white pieces? This is a bit puzzling to me.
I don't know, but we can't argue with results.
This is a free pawn on d5. Knight c takes d5. That way there's no... I mean, actually, you can go knight e takes because of bishop c3. You had knight takes.
I like maybe... Oh, that I don't like. I think he should have honestly played pawn at f7 there, followed by pawn at b5 to get the knight out. But now Darvacki seems safe enough.
So this match is always going to be extremely tough if you're the team that's outrated by several hundred points. I think honestly in their position, like I'm sort of throwing move quality out the window and I'm saying I am going to do everything to be uptime every single game. And then I'm just going to hope that I can find a way to do something with the uptime. But like if you're just moving at normal pace, like they're usually going to be uptime against you in most games because they're like better and for them to find good moves quickly. And if you're just playing a normal game, like I don't think you ever have any chance of like beating this team. Though admittedly, like pre-moving all and making bad moves, probably you don't have much of a chance of beating this team either. But that would probably be my strategy against a team that outrates me a lot. Just playing super fast.
One thing I would point out is and I've seen this in other matches. If someone is going to be sacking, I don't think you generally want it to be the lowest rated person. So if ShaoniHiya sacks on his board, then number one, he's not going to mate because check for chess is good enough at defense that's just not going to happen. Number two, his partner has to play down pieces, like the whole game. So I'd recommend against sacking in general by the low player. Second, from the higher rated player, presumably they have better board vision and more of a chance that the sacks will actually pay off.
And if you like prep with the low rated player beforehand, because like if the high rated player is sacking, like as a low rated player, your only job is to continue moving. If you can get trades, awesome, like get them as you can, but don't slow down to try and find ways to force trades for your partner.
Yeah.
Now
that there is a time differential now. Like look at this.
Yeah,
this is a 20-second time differential, and like a pawn wins the queen for Schachmasteo. So yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good if this is a great time for him to sit. And his partner should be trying to force trades.
But this is what the games where they win look like. Like you have to get up a bunch of time and then just hope you can do something with it. Now a lot of these games, like they still won't be able to do anything with it. But
there's that pawn wins a queen.
Yeah, one thing Shaonai can like work on in the future is in general, he shouldn't stop moving at all. I understand it's hard when you're playing someone that just like completely outrates
like
you.
more pawns win. Like pawn at f6 is quite good, or bishop at f6.
Yeah, so he finds his queen force, but they're not up a bunch of time anymore. But still, long term, this queen is going to be very good for his partner.
Queen takes pawn.
Knight is the thing I want in my life. I don't
Yeah,
like backing off.
knight at g5.
Okay, Shauna's picking up the pace. He's moving faster now, and he's getting some flow for his partner.
Yeah, he's
This is
losing
tricky
pieces in
though.
the process, though.
I don't mind that honestly because all that matters is a partner getting pieces. Unfortunately, I think he's going to get mid on the back here.
Yeah,
Rook at h8 looks
that does look pretty devastating.
crushing. Yep, and he finds it. Go on check for chess. I don't think we take this pawn. You go king. Yeah, I mean, I think he's made it regardless, but I think taking the pawn makes it a little bit easier. But...
Yeah, no, I agree. Knight at h4 looked like, was that immediate mate?
Yes.
This is still gonna mate. You can move your bishop to g4. Looks like, or no, then you can take the knight.
Stop
So
the king from running.
so no.
Well, now he has rook at f6 and then bishop f3. It's just mate.
Why can't you take the? Oh
He
yeah.
can't
I
take
see what you're
the
saying. Yeah. That's true.
Well, no, he takes a bishop on e3, but then there's bishop f2, which we can pretend I calculated from the start.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't pan out that game, but this is the games that they're going to win against this team look like that. You have to move super fast and get up time, and then hope that you can do something with it. And this time they couldn't convert on it, but that's promising actually. Like, I think your prediction of over 0.5 wins for the rest of the match is looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Although they've only got 4 more games to make it happen. So
our score is 7-1, favor in CheckForChess and Darvacki.
CheckForChess is moving with a purpose this game. He's playing the opening much faster. I think they noticed that they got into a little trouble from being downtime in that game.
Yeah. Up was not the way to go. Should have gone.
Oh, knight at h4 had to have been mating with like one more knight.
For sure. I mean, this is probably still mated.
Okay, yeah. Bishop at h3. He doesn't realize that the light squares are the edge.
That's fine. Anyway, it should have played knight. Knight takes pawn first, but still have a crushing attack.
Yeah, I mean, he can't defend both squares, but he doesn't have to defend f3, apparently. CheckForChess is not aware that this exists. It was actually fine if he didn't take that bishop on h1. Oh, and the queen? Okay. Yeah, Darvacki and CheckForChess showing that they have the ability to move like very fast, at least much faster than they did the last game.
Yeah.
I'm curious, is this a match between 2 group winners? This is a 1 seed against a 32 seed, but I don't know if S team won their group. I'm gonna go look that up.
Green trade happened. Now a diagonal for e6 is very good, like a pawn or bishop for Darvacki. Knight takes pawn is pretty crushing.
This is a match between 2 group winners. Oh, I guess in theory all of the matches are against group winners now.
Yeah, pawn check. Oh, queen in.
Oh, nice.
Use the queen as a pawn.
Yeah, I think they only move. 95 doesn't even save you because he can just take with his knight and he's still covering it.
If this match ends without the underdogs winning another game, then it's much more likely that we'll be able to start the 1:30 match on time.
Ooh, I don't know if any of you guys are in chat, but if you don't mind doing us a favor and waiting until this match finishes, that'd be pretty sick.
So you have some fans in the chat.
Oh, let me see. Oh, snap! Return of the lag. Oh, it would be my honor to be your Valentine. You're so fine.
Love story brewing. Oh, why not take the queen first? bishop takes knight. That's the queen. Maybe he's going for the king, though. I would just take the queen.
I was distracted by the chat, so I didn't get to see when was there a queen hanging? Which board is this?
Right now, it's still hanging. Bishop takes knight. Queen takes. Bishop takes.
Oh, that's what you mean. That's what you mean. I mean, like, queen g6 is, like, Schachmasteo is dead, right?
I mean,
I guess he
that
goes
works
bishop
too, I
at-
guess. That
God, I can feel the pain in your voice not taking this. And that queen was never captured the entire game.
it was never captured.
All right, match point.
IR score is 10-1.
Yeah, I'm curious, is because I think even in the next stages of the tournament, there might be a couple of matches where one team is pretty heavily favored, and like I think especially in U2000, like I would be super just like punting on move quality and just
Here, a pawn is very good for Darvacki. He could just move his bishop to b5. That's good as well.
Queen g4, I like this move.
You can take the bishop. Queen takes bishop.
Yes, very nice. And here the time is the problem, because like if Schachmasteo takes the queen instantly, you're fine, but like takes the queen instantly and then sit. Okay, well, I was gonna say he had to go queen d6 now because pawn mates him. If you're gonna make this decision, you have to do it instantly and communicate.
And that's match.
Yeah.
GG's.
Well played, CheckForChess and Darvacki. Sam, honestly, you did well, like very well given the rating difference. That was tough.
Yeah. Yeah, and not only the rating difference, but CheckForChess, at the very least, has played a ton of Bughouse.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also just Bughouse experience coming into play. So the final score was 11-1, favoring Darvacki and CheckForChess. Thanks for the follow from Mark Entstays 1. Really appreciate it. So let's prepare for our next match, which should be starting momentarily if it hasn't started already, which is, I'm going to update my title, Crazy 8 and Die Blaue Sau versus Umatox and Terra 87.
All players are online. I haven't checked if they're in live chess though. So
okay, so let's start following all of them. Oh, Darvacki is saying the first game was due to a mouse slip. So I guess I missed what move the mouse slip was, but that might in part explain it. The other team just played. I mean, even if there was a mouse slip, the fact that the other team could exploit that mouse slip is a testament to how good they play.
So if there was a mouse slip, I imagine it happened fairly early, because I remember the end of the game, he played like rook e1 to defend, and then Schachmasteo just found like a really nice mating sequence with like a discovered knight check and then a rook at d2. Was it e2? I don't know how to play chess, but yeah, maybe like it was a mouse slip early on and they just like lost material at the gate, but Schachmasteo found like a nice attack to convert the end there. Yeah, all of the players are in live chess except for Fumitox.
I think they're all in live chess.
Oh,
I have them all followed.
Oh, yeah, Fumitox is in now. When I checked 30 seconds ago, he was not in. Okay, so it should be happening